Hello everyone and welcome back. Today up on the bench is a 020 Volkswagen transmission and we're going to tear it apart and see what's inside. First step is going to be getting these axle cups off. There's a plastic cover. There we go. So they're not rubber, they're actual steel seals. But right here is our snap ring for these axle cups. We'll take that off. This will just slide right off. Snap ring pliers. Off it comes. There we go. One axle cup off. Now we'll flip it around and do the same on the other side. Okay. There. Hey, we have both axle cups off. So next we'll get this pair of sensors off and then we'll start working on our top half of the case there, our top little third. This top one here is a T45. Off comes this bracket. There we go. There's our speed sensor pickup. Which means this is likely our reverse light switch. Sure enough. Let's get this stuff off. Look at that. Off that comes. Off our little boot comes. Now let's crack our top off. There we are. Here we have access to our overdrive. So this is our 5th gear setup. Now we got to remove all that before we can split the case apart. Pull this rod out from the shift. It's a triple square down in here. I'll show you right in here. Right in here, we're going to tap upwards on this. And that's going to free this little plate up off these splines in there. It's going to allow us to get it up off those splines and onto the actual shaft itself, and then we can spin it and we can free up our shift collar. There we go. As you can see, we've hammered that up. Now I can sit here and spin it. We're actually going to almost get like a flathead or a chisel. We're going to spin this. It unscrews. I need the right tool for that. I wonder if I have a bolt that fits in there. The head of a bolt. You don't need a special tool. Just get a little crafty. That comes out. So when we last left off, we were trying to get this shift component out of this hole here from behind our little cap. So what I did in order to get this out was there was a snap ring here. I just grabbed my hammer and tapped it from the back. Another thing that I've done since, I've taken my chisel and I've used it like a screwdriver to work this down. So now the goal, try and get this fork off. But I might have messed up, I might have gone the wrong way. Don't know why I didn't just think of that. That rod stays in there and it's held in by something inside the case. Out that comes. Take our collar back off. And out. Off slides our one overdrive gear. And there's a clip on this one. So we have to take that clip and we have to line it up so that it slides off that shaft. So we had a little detent right there that was binding in the gear, so I had to lift it up and then it just slid right off. And off slides our other 5th gear. So with our overdrive gears off and the shift collar form off, we should be able to now go ahead and pull the bell housing or the case bolts and pull this guy apart. one case or two case bolts there that are hidden underneath this. 2 and 2. And we're gonna have to use a wrench on, but that's okay. Luckily these bolts are shorter, so they're not hard to get out. I'm just gonna pull out this. I believe it holds the opposite end of the reverse idler shaft, but we'll see once we get it apart. There's 4 triple squares. We're going to undo that because those hold the input shaft here to this case. I believe once we have these out, we can split the case. So we'll separate it. And here we have 2 split cases. There's nothing left in this one. And here we are with the rest of it. Here's our shifter components here. Pull out our forks. Couple bolts here for our reverse idle gear. And I was right. That bolt on the side of the case does go into the reverse idler shaft. The bolts down here look like tin mills. We'll get them out. Off that'll come. That's that. Shifter for our reverse idler. Snap ring right there. Pull that off. We should be able to pull this gear off. Out comes our input shaft. Out comes our reverse idler gear. In order to get the cluster shaft out, you can see a pair of bolt heads right there. And same goes for the other side. So there's 4 bolt heads. We can't get on them, so what we're going to do is pull the snap rings off this shaft and disassemble our shaft until we can get at those. That's why it's so important to note the location of these gears if you don't actually know which one's which. So that way you can put it back on the same way you took it off. Make sure we don't lose these. Just get a pry bar on each side and just there we go. So now that everything's off, I'm going to reassemble this so that I know where everything goes. So I made a nice stack over there in the same way they came off. Get these ones off. Out comes the cluster shaft, and out comes the differential. So here we have a fully disassembled Volkswagen 020 out of a 96 Jetta. Let's go over the components. We've got our case halves, our differential, our cluster shaft gear set, and our cluster shaft. We've got our 5th gear. Got our input shaft, got our reverse idler, and everything here is to do with our shift forks and our shift linkage. Got the top of the case, got the bracket that the shifter goes onto, or the cable connects to. Got our axle cups. We've got our various case hardware, our speed sensor, reverse switch, and that little detent. And this is our little cover for the shifter in the case. Alright, check out the Valorous Wrecking eBay store. Links will be up above and in the description. Thank you very much for watching.